receiver. Okay. Oh, geez, we have a couple people already. Just hold. There, it's on.
Is it on?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Wow, people are jumping on. Thank you, thank you. We're a couple minutes early even. That's so exciting. So exciting. Good morning, everybody. We are here today with Elishia,
Good morning.
who is a fabulous designer, and we're always so excited when she comes to see what she has made for us. So
Thank you.
she loves Tim Holtz like the rest of us. She loves fabric and sewing and gooey stuff and all of that.
I'm not good at sewing, but I'm giving her a shot.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to be good.
Nope, you definitely don't.
And you know what? If it looks ratty,
the
better.
The rattier, the better.
Yes. So we are memory bound from Central Iowa. It is the heat has finally stopped here, or it broke last night. I think a cold front came in, so it's only going to be 70 something today. So instead of 100, so we are ready for a few cooler days. Since football is here and it's been awfully hot to sit at football games. So we will get going. We have nothing new today, but I'll say this a couple times. We got the new Christmas ideology in yesterday, and it is all in the system. We cannot show it until 11 o'clock, so Katie and I will be back at around 11 o'clock to show you all the new ideology. And
Elishia will still be here because I will sit and wait.
Elishia was very excited to know that it is here. And I was not expecting it yesterday, so that was a big surprise.
Yeah.
It's great to have it. He will launch it at 11 o'clock Central Time today, so you'll have to hop back on and see what he has in store for us for ideology. So we will get started with Elishia. So nothing else new came in yesterday. So we will, set your alarm, 11 o'clock. That's good. Okay, so on to Elishia.
Okay, so we can start with the fabric. I did a little fabric book. And
okay, so that's the Halloween fabric that we have left.
Which, oh my gosh, the plaid, love. Yeah. And I even used the orange. I kind of thought it was a little bright for what I was doing on some projects, but I actually just inked it up and grunged it up a little bit.
Perfect.
So I really liked
she
it
is the master of grunging.
Yeah, you can tell my hands are a mess. But oh my gosh, love the fabric. So this little, I don't know what you call it. It's not a journal.
It's like a folio type.
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually took, this sounds so silly. I had this little linen pouch that I actually bought dishcloths, and they came in this linen pouch. And I saw the linen, and I'm like, oh, I could do something fun with that. So I just started making all these little, clusters of all the Tim Holtz Halloween fabric.
Now, some of this is ideology stuff. Some of it's fabric. She kind of used
this is
a variety.
This is some of the ideology chipboard, and I just kind of tore it so it wasn't so thick and heavy, and I sewed that on.
Look at all the
layers and layers and layers.
Oh, and this is the velvet trim.
This is the velvet trim.
Yep.
This is the paper fringe, the Halloween fringe.
This right there, and it's $4.99, and you get a lot.
Yeah. So there's no rhyme or reason. I made these little clusters first. I picked out some of my favorites, but you can see there's layers, and there's old fabric and ribbon from my stash of stuff that who knows where I got some of this stuff, to be honest. But this is the Tim Holtz, all of this.
Yeah, she cut apart the collage.
I really tried to treat the fabric like it was paper.
Yep.
And you'll see on some of my other projects, I even sanded and inked the fabric just like it was paper.
Interesting.
Because I sometimes, well, for instance, on these, I actually like put the fabric on and then
and then
I sanded it and I inked it. Yeah.
Yeah, look at those cool edges. Maggie
Yeah.
would be very proud of you.
Yeah. And I use my
that's
big,
cool.
the big nail file sander. I don't think we brought one of those over,
Yep.
but for that kind of stuff, that's
Yep.
what I did. So this book, there's really no rhyme or reason to anything. I mean, I just cut and rip and tear. I did find that, you know, starting a little cut and then ripping my fabric was the best way to do it. I like the look that it gives. And I did go through and ink some of it also.
These projects like this, it's just, you just really you're not making it probably to put pictures in
No.
or anything. It's just fun.
I just did it to do it.
Yes.
Some of them have little pockets back behind them.
And you know what? That's okay. I've decided that
Yeah.
just to sit down and use your stuff
Yeah.
and make whatever. You don't even have to show it to anybody. I just
No.
for yourself. It's
And
just
like
so
I
much
said,
fun.
all the threads and whatever,
Yep.
I didn't care. This is what I wanted it to look like. And I did. I just started off making the little clusters. And then I decided on each page, like, oh, I'll add a little bit more here or there. And to be honest, I might go back and add some more later, too.
Yep. Add some of the newer stuff.
Yep. All of my buttons come from my, I have a big jar of buttons that were my grandmother's. And so
Perfect.
I use those on everything.
Yep.
I'll never run out.
See, this is paper, and she sewed
Yep.
that.
I sewed it right on there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I think something's going to be a pocket, and then I accidentally sew it together.
Together.
And I'm like, well, it's not a pocket anymore.
Yep. Yeah, these are just so much fun. And
just
making
had
the
a
little
blast.
clusters ahead of time,
Yeah.
you know, Tim has always said that. Try to, if you just sitting watching TV or whatever, just
Yeah.
put everything together.
I did. I just sat at my sewing machine and I just pieced things together.
Yep.
And then after I got them all pieced together, I'm like, oh, I'll just throw them together in a book. And then that's what I did. And then I would go back and add the fringe, and then I would go back and add a button or maybe a little more fabric. But I just had an absolute ball doing this.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, these would be fun. And just to set it out in one of your
Yep.
Halloween vignettes would
Yep.
be so cute.
Yeah.
How fun that is.
I just loved it. It was so much fun.
So I give everybody permission just to sit down and play.
Just start messing around.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed sometimes what you can do. And like I said, it's pretty grungy and it's not put together very fancy at all. I mean, I just started sewing fabric together.
You know, the funny thing is, though, in 100 years, somebody finds this, what are they going to think?
They're going to think I was nuts.
I've thought about that of some of the stuff that I've made, too. Like,
Yeah.
they'll keep it, they'll find it in a box, and they'll say, great-great-grandma, what was she thinking?
Yeah, yeah. So that's
They'll
my
have a good laugh.
Yeah, so that's my first little fabric journal. Some of the other little projects I did fabric on. This
Look at
one.
this cute hanger.
Yep, I loved this cute little. So this is a Tim Holtz little hanger.
Yes.
I think we have that one over
We
there
do,
too.
and you get 2 hangers, and they are $5.99. And I have a couple of the. Well, I think I have 3 or 4 hanging
Yeah.
in my craft room with
Yeah.
stuff on them.
It's so cute. I loved it. It was perfect for this. I did the just patching things together. I mean, I really can't say there's any rhyme or reason to any of it.
Look, she put October up
Yeah.
there
I love it.
and cut apart the fabric.
Yep. I just anything that I felt like I just liked the way that it went together. I just went with it. I just
And
sewed it
then
together.
what did you? The fabric on the back was the plaid.
Yep. So I just started with the plaid and then I just sewed everything right to it. So yeah, you can see the back. That it's nothing fancy.
Right, and it doesn't have to be.
No, and I use all different kinds of stitches and I leave my strings and I might
I
go back
gotta
on
go
this one
back.
and add a button, but
And answer some questions.
Sure.
Do you remember the fabric books for children? I think you could make a simplified version for a child would love to see to explore. Okay, all the fabric books that we had for our kids when they were little to play with in church.
Yeah.
That would be fun to make with
that would be.
Halloween or Christmas fabric.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or honestly, I thought, I used this. It started off as a pouch that I cut up, but I thought you could take any of either the Tim Holtz fabric or just any type of linen and just cut it to whatever size you want and then just sew it right down the middle and make your own little book.
I look at stuff way different now.
Me too.
Any kind of packaging or anything that I can possibly make an album out of.
Yeah.
When I'm shopping in
or any
stores
of those neutral fabrics or anything. You just put some layers, just cut it to whatever size. And like I said, I really do not measure anything that I do. If I have to get a ruler out and measure something, I'm probably not going to do it. As she says,
speaking of a ruler, okay, they want to know the width of the hanger.
I would say it's about 5 3/4.
5 3/4 inches wide. Okay.
Yeah. So like this piece that I have, this is about 6.5 inches wide.
Okay.
This piece is, and you can see I've got like a little. So I kind of didn't put the hanger like right in the center. Not that that matters.
Right.
But
yeah, that
it wasn't
is
flush at the top. So
cute. Okay. Janet linked the hangers. Okay, welcome everybody. Those activity books would be fun. Halloween, Christmas one using the fabric. Okay, Letha, my family laughs at me because I save cereal boxes and vintage papers of all kinds.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're totally with you.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, okay, next project.
Okay, so next project is an etc. tag. One of the big ones.
And
See if I
this
can grab it without everything
is
falling apart.
called medium tags, and you get 2 in a package.
Yeah.
These etc. tags
I love them.
Yeah.
So it's an etc. tag behind it, and then this is one of the newer
boards.
One of the newer boards.
Okay, so this is the panel, and you probably use the 6 by 8.5.
The smaller one.
Okay, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4.
Yeah. And I started this the same way. I started the little collage-y thing first, and then I thought, oh, I need something to put it on. So then I put it on this, and then I thought, well, now I need to put this on something. The layers just come naturally, and I almost
You do a great job of that.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
But I almost start with a small centerpiece and then build behind it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Instead of building from the bottom.
Yeah, because sometimes I can't process. I don't know what I want on the bottom.
Right.
But I know what I want, like my focal point to be. So I start there, and then you'll see with this book I did over here, I can explain it more too. I kind of add from behind. And you can add little tucks and little spots from behind pieces.
And you never glue anything down unless you start.
I staple a lot of stuff.
Okay.
If I get a little cluster of something together, I use my tiny attacher and I attach it together, and then I just layer. I mean, just from behind, I just layer and stick things in. And
well, it always comes out looking really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But see, I mixed in some of the fabric with the paper ephemera, with the threads. I mean, these are literally, I probably picked those up off my floor.
Jeez. And then the Scotch tape.
Yep, I love the Scotch tape. I'll never get tired of that.
Using alcohol ink.
Yep, alcohol ink. And I did alcohol ink on some of this stuff. I love alcohol ink, so yeah.
And then the paper is from the backdrops.
This
is that fabric?
This is fabric.
Okay.
Yep.
So this with the words on it, or
paper.
the writing, is from his Halloween
backdrops. Yep, I think it's that piece right there, actually.
Backdrops.
Yeah.
And
I might have a little mixed in of last year's and this year's, to be honest.
You do. You just kind of buy them and then you put them all together. A lot
of it, yeah. And then this was some design tape, like the Halloween.
Yep. Okay.
What do you call it?
And what did you use to put the fabric on?
I just used my
Matte medium?
Collage medium.
Collage medium?
Yeah, yep. And I thought it worked great.
Yep.
I felt like it did dry pretty fast.
And it does. Collage medium does dry
For
fast.
paper, I felt like I could slide it around. The fabric, not so much. So I did start off and do it halfway, put the fabric on, and then I lifted the bottom up and did the rest of it.
Okay,
but
good tip.
Do it and leave. So like I will put the fabric on and leave like a good size overhang, and then I sand it all off and then go back around and ink it.
So she does that just like you would paper.
Yes.
She does the same thing with fabric.
Yes. And then like this piece down here, I went down and see how it's part of October.
Yep.
But I already had it all of the plaid, and then I went back and added this after. I mean, I actually just did that
I
last
really
night.
like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And she used twine and pins.
And these I think were from last year. So
but any of his embellishments.
Anything. And you know, I tried to really
charms.
just get into my stash and just use it up. Like just use everything.
You know, we have talked about that before, is I have all of my ideology stuff in cupcake trays or whatever, and it's all, and I mix it all together.
Yeah.
Whether it be from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I just mix it all together.
I used to not do that, and then I got in my own head, and I'm like, just put it all together, and who cares what year it came from? Like, just use it. If it looks like it goes together,
and not hoard it.
So that was,
because some of his stuff doesn't come back, but he always has new stuff.
This one was a fun one too, that I cut the word spooky out. This was actually an old piece of ephemera. I don't know if anybody remembers that. That was like old Tim Holtz.
Wow.
And I just love her. She's so nasty, but I just love her.
She's pretty out there.
And this was, let's see.
The vignette tray.
Yep, this is the vignette tray, and I use the back side of it instead of using it this way. As you can see, I started off thinking I was going to do something on the inside, and then I was like, I'll just turn her over and do this.
Perfect. And this one is called what?
That one is, I don't know.
The vignette set. It has 2 boxes and 1 tray. So she used the tray.
I just used the tray.
Which is the bigger one, and then it has 2 smaller, which Maggie has used.
Yeah. I have so many piles of these boxes.
They're great.
Yeah, I love them.
And I use them for some of my ephemera and stuff I put in.
Yeah, I do too.
For storage.
In fact, I'm not going to lie, there was maybe a couple of them that I had to dump something out of to... But this one I even kind of finished the edge. I used some grit paste, and I colored it with some mica sprays, some alcohol inks. I try to finish the edges on all of my stuff, but you'll see there's some of them that I don't.
Look how fun that is.
And I mean, I just grunge it all on there. I mean, there is no rhyme or reason, just...
And you just mix and...
I do, and I don't wait for things to dry. Like, I probably do not use any of my products the way that they are intended, but it works okay.
It does. It always just turns out.
Play, and if you don't like it, there was one thing that I didn't care for it at all, and so I just, in fact, I think it was, oh gosh, what did I do with that other one? Yeah, it was this one. So...
I like that one.
Okay, I was doing the orange, and I was trying to grunge it up, so I used some of the new black texture paste on it, and I didn't like it, so I literally cut it off and put the plaid on there. I mean, you know, you just got to do what you got to do. So this is fabric here, did a little sewing around the fabric, and then lots of ephemera.
Sorry, Beth, that you're having problems. You might have to go in and out. And hopefully that will work for you. Okay, so you use the black
texture paste.
Black texture paste, which is new.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to actually demo this today with some mica stains.
And then the grit paste is the one he brought back.
Yep, I did. I used the Crypt grit paste, and I used the white grit paste too, just the regular grit paste. And I just add alcohol inks right on top of it when it's wet. I can't guarantee what color you're going to get when you do that, but I like it.
So what color of alcohol ink do you mainly use?
Mushroom and slate are the two that I use the most. So there's the slate. And there's the mushroom.
Those are two great
Yeah,
colors.
sometimes when I do the tape, I will use caramel. I do like that color too.
And then to put a little yellow in there or gold, I use honeycomb is a good one to use too. Those combinations are good.
Yeah. And then these leaves, this was an old dye. I don't know if you still have that one or not. I guess we didn't look for that one, did we?
We'll have to look.
But I used some of the new mica stains on those leaves, and I really like those.
Okay, so the new mica stains are, this is set 6 right here, and it's got
Specimen is my favorite.
Okay, Specimen is the green, and then the purple, I can't really.
Ominous
Twilight and Fathom Mist. And then set 5 is Mulled Cider.
Unraveled and Fallen Acorn.
Okay, so those are the 2 new sets.
This one, it says cider. That is more orange to me. I assumed it was going to be red, but I love this for pumpkin-y color stuff.
Oh, perfect.
It's really pretty. I really like that one. But I will say,
really like that
wait till you see Specimen.
I
Oh my
haven't
gosh.
bought that yet.
Oh, it's I've had 2 of those already.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I love them. I love them. So actually here, I'll show you a little sneak peek. So this is
it's that green.
It's that green in there. Wait till you see when I dry it what it does. It's so gorgeous.
Wow.
So that's got some of the Specimen, and then it's got some of the Unraveled is in there also.
Oh.
Yeah, and I might have put a little Fallen Acorn on that one too, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I love those. They're very pretty.
Okay, so that's set 5 and 6 of the Halloween collection. Okay, you can tell Elishia uses a lot of product.
Yes, I do. And I'm not ashamed.
Yes, they are loving this.
I love it because I use it. And that's the thing. Like, I don't buy it to not use it. Just use it up.
Yeah.
Use it up, and then when you're out of it, you buy more. And you can hoard a pack. I usually buy, 2 of everything?
Yes, you do.
Normally, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they are having some problems. So hopefully if you go in and out, a lot of people aren't having problems and they are loving this. So sorry, maybe you can catch it on the replay too. So hopefully, okay. Katie said she is good. So, well, there's more than one. Okay, so we'll just continue on. Hopefully you can go back and watch it on the replay and not have any problems. So, okay, look at this. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So this
that is amazing.
This one, this is from last year. But the fabric and stuff, I started off with just the little fabric piece, and then I just kind of went from there.
And the stripe is paper?
That's paper.
Okay. Is that...
And I can't remember if that's this year's or last year's.
there.
Is that it? Yeah, that's this year's.
Okay.
So that's this paper right here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Got some ephemera pieces.
But look at all of those fun...
It is so grungy.
She used, maybe we don't have the confections for Halloween.
It's up there. I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
That's the
the little candy corns
Yep.
and these. And I will say, these are just black and white. And I actually took a little marker and colored the orange
there you
in there.
go.
And
Great
then
tip.
I just take some alcohol ink and I just use my fingers. If you don't want to
Again,
use your
Maggie,
fingers,
you and
then-
Maggie.
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. So here's,
Yeah, look at how fun
Yeah.
those are. And then she just grunges them
I
up.
just scrunch them up. So the black and white ones I color, which I think mine are actually old from last year, the ones that were just black and white. But I took just an orange like Sharpie marker
Wow.
and just colored the orange in there, and it looks a little more intricate than it really is. It's really not. You just kind of make a little stripe around. And then I just use alcohol ink, and I just use my fingers and just kind of pat the alcohol ink on there to grunge them up a little bit.
Look how fun that is. And this is a shelf, which
Yep.
we have.
It's part
I
of the
will-
etc.
Yep.
Yep.
I will have
And
somebody
I don't know
go
if they
through
have
this.
the Halloween parts too?
I'm not sure.
Mine are probably old. I did put the crypt paste on those.
The wood pieces that are by the etc. tags. They're the trim.
Yep.
Yep.
See,
That's
I
what
don't
she
know if
built
you
the
can
shelf out of.
see the detail. And then the background of this, so this is just
Okay, that's one of these
one of the
vignette trays that we use a lot.
Yeah.
And it is called Vignette Display Panel.
And then I just use the black, once again, the black texture paste.
Which is Teresa's favorite too
I
now.
am loving it. And I did the floral stencil. Oh, maybe that's one thing we didn't find too. Oh gosh,
Okay.
we kind of missed the boat, didn't we?
That's
So
all right.
this is a floor. I mean, you can
You
see
can use
it
any
is well
stencil.
used. Any stencil,
is
and it
well
doesn't have to be a
used.
flower because obviously it's Halloween. You
Right.
can do whatever. But this is what I use with the black texture paste, and then I sprayed the mica stains over it.
Oh, like all three colors? Not the purple.
Not no, not the purple. No offense, I'm not a purple fan.
Yeah.
I will show. That's what I'm
Okay.
gonna. Yeah, this is a mixture of specimen, fallen acorn, and unraveled.
Okay,
This is.
so she used some out of both collections, both 5 and 6.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Oops.
Thank you. Okay, so here are the trims that she used, and it looks like she used
I used this one.
the pinked.
The pinked. I used this a lot. I
Okay,
used
and that
this,
one's called the scallop.
and I used it actually.
Oh yeah,
in
look
this
how
one.
cute those little shelves are.
I love them.
Perfect. So there's the brackets, the scallop, and the pink, and they are $7.99, and you get 10 in. You get 5. I don't know. Let's see. There's 5 panels. So you get 10 of the 4-inch, 10 of the 5-inch, and 10 of the 6-inch. Perfect. So they go a long ways.
And you can paint them. You can put paper on them. They have a die set also.
Yes,
I thought
they
about
do.
getting that
I
because I don't
do.
have it, and I think I should get it.
I have that because I just use that sometimes.
Because I typically just have been painting mine, just because you can't. To me, it's hard to put paper
It
on
is
them.
hard. You can't.
But then I thought,
cut
well,
'em.
gosh, that's silly. I should probably get the die.
Yeah. Dye is very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just finished it off with paper from the backdrops all the way around, and then inked it, grunged it
Love
up.
the background.
Yeah.
Love the background.
Okay, so
What is
else?
next? Well, let's talk about that.
This one?
Yep, that's the panels.
Yep, this is the panels, and it is. Are they down? Are they under there?
These are the new etc.
Yep, the
Panels.
new etc. panels. I just obviously turned them on their side.
What a neat.
And those are books. Like Maggie was making books the other day. She inspired me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
look
made
at
a whole bunch
that.
of books.
And the pumpkins that come like this.
Yep, I just added some peat moss to it.
And added a stem.
And the stems, I don't really know where that little stick came from. It was like the wire end of like the, what are the little paper flowers
Yes,
that they have?
from Tim.
It was part of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, don't throw anything away.
No. And I'm not going to lie, I literally found it on the floor when I was cleaning up and was like, oh, that would make a perfect stem to a pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Look how cute those are.
And this is actually a picture of my grandma when she was little.
Oh, that's a real picture.
That's a real picture, yep. That was when she was little going trick-or-treating.
And then the moon is at the die or the stencil.
That is a piece of ephemera.
Oh,
And I don't know if it's out, which one it's out of. Yeah, it's out of this one.
okay, that's the layers and paper dolls. That's the new one.
Yep. Yep. That's the
Okay,
new
that's
one.
got the moon.
And I think the bats maybe came out of
The
that
bats
one too.
came out of the.
The bats are the shiny ones.
Yes.
Are they shiny?
Yes. This is the baseboards and transparency for Halloween. And you get a lot of.
And you'll see, I used
Yep.
these in a few of these things, and I did use these bats on something else, and I kind of melted them, and it was really cool.
Oh my
I probably
gosh.
shouldn't do that. But
And you get a lot of stuff. $10.99.
Yeah.
You get a ton of stuff
yeah,
in here
and
because
the,
I did
the
buy
windows and
the windows.
love
are
it.
awesome.
Yeah, love it, love it.
And then she used the tacks, which we don't have in stock at the moment.
Yeah.
The Tim Holtz.
Yeah, the little
nails
nail tacks.
or-
I use those a couple times.
Yeah,
I
look
like
how
those.
fun those are. What a cute display. Yes.
Okay, so probably the oh, here, I'll put these up there. This was kind of what inspired all of my first Halloween, I don't know what you'd call it, makes, I don't know. I just was in the mood to start getting all my Halloween stuff out and play with it. So I started just with like this picture, this. I just started building from the top, and then I just started adding from behind. And I just love how this little book turned out.
Yeah.
And I made each one of these pages separate, and then I had them laying on the floor, and I thought, boy, those would look really cute all together in a book. And so then I just took pieces of the backdrop paper and tore it and connected all the books
And just
all the
glued them
pages.
all together.
So when I started this, I had no intention of this being a book or like a mini album or what you want to call it. And it wasn't until I got them all sitting next to each other that I thought, oh, I really want to put those all together.
Yeah, those are fun.
And so I just did whatever I had to do to rip and tear. And I, like I said, I do not measure. I mean, you can see this book.
It's all different sizes.
I mean, look at the back of it.
I love that back.
But
oh my
when you
gosh.
just start adding, it just happens. You just start adding and gluing, and you might see a little spot that you think, oh, I need a little something right there. So you just stick it in there, and you either glue it on, you staple it on.
How fun.
I believe this is specimen on the leaves, mostly specimen.
Okay,
love
I
those.
love that green.
Love those.
Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
And this is all Tim Holtz Halloween ideology ephemera, backdrops paper, the baseboards.
Wow.
Can you see okay when I hold it like that?
Yep. Okay, so let's use our new.
Oh, yeah. That looks better, doesn't it?
Yes, that Catherine.
There you go.
Look. Oh,
that better?
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, how
As long
fun.
as you can don't get my face in it. So, baseboards, frames. I do put crystal on my stuff, lots of ink.
And she uses dyes. And
Yeah,
because that's a dye,
That's
the
a dye,
doily.
that's a joy, like the border.
Yep.
Whatever, yep. Probably an older one.
That's a staple. Need that. Just look at all the fun.
This, how I aged these photos was with texture crackle,
oh my god.
the translucent, and then alcohol inks.
So translucent, crackle, texture. Maggie needs to be here.
I know. Do you want me to go grab it?
It's so
bet I could go find
confusing.
it.
Here we can.
It's translucent. It's the see-through one is what I say. That's how I just remember, like, translucent. But sometimes it appears like shiny, so I like to put the alcohol ink over it.
So you put that on and then put the alcohol ink on top. Yeah, look how fun that is. We need a jar of the
Translucent crackle.
paste.
Yeah.
And then there's also paint too.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know. He might have changed some stuff, and what I have might be older that I just still am using.
yeah.
But I do, like all of my people, that's the glazes, the distress glazes, and I use anything and everything. I use all of them to emboss.
White pen. Sorry if it was blurry. It wasn't blurry on my end. Okay. Yeah, we'll show that.
We'll show both of them.
So show both of those. You
So
probably
I use this one.
Okay, the crackle paint, translucent,
Yep.
and
Because
then
you can see the
Yes.
difference. Mine's this.
okay, so it's more translucent, and then she put the alcohol ink on top of it.
Yep. And then that I did wait for it to dry. You wait for the crackle paint to dry, and then it cracks. Because if
Okay.
you do it while it's wet, I mean, you could try it. I don't know, but I do
But you
usually
need-
let that
yeah,
dry.
you want it to
and
crack.
I don't heat set that at all.
Right.
but I let that dry on its own and then I go back. So like there was one day that I did a whole bunch of these pictures and I really wanted to like grunge them up. And so I did a whole bunch of them. I actually sanded it first, put the crackle paint on, let it dry, and then I went back and alcohol inked all of them. And I did put some blending solution on that to just sort of like thin it out a little bit.
Yep. To wick it out.
Yeah. Yep.
And she did it on the back of this too, so we'll see that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, just more ephemera.
Lots of ephemera.
And mummy cloth.
Oh, mummy cloth for the win. I use it on everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes
mummy
I just
cloth.
ink it with my actual ink. Sometimes I spray it with distress sprays, mica sprays. You can do anything with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really rip it and tear it. Yeah, I love
Katie
it.
and Teresa talked about it yesterday, that you really need to just have it in your stash.
Yeah.
Yep. How fun those pages are. Now I think, let's see, some of these pictures are from are they from the found relatives, or are they your relatives?
No, none of these are my relatives in this book.
Okay, maybe the paper
think-
dowels.
Yes, a lot. Yeah, they came from this.
Yeah, the paper dowels.
Hey, Diane, can we interrupt?
Oh my gracious.
Yeah.
Yes, we have an audience
Come
this
in.
morning.
Yes. These are our friends from North Dakota.
Oh,
From Fargo, and all
welcome,
they're
welcome.
doing is
And they got
smiling.
their t-shirts on.
Because they're so happy. They're just smiling. They haven't said anything.
We said this is our destination
Yeah,
place.
Oh,
And your name?
Rhonda,
Rhonda and?
Maryland.
Yeah, from North Dakota. And
Welcome.
they brought us something.
oh, Winnie.
Winnie the Pooh Legos.
It's not Legos.
I know. Is it okay if I put on here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can't
Sorry
hurt.
to interrupt.
You can't hurt any of my grungy
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Look at
Aww.
that.
Oh.
Did you guys both make these?
Yeah.
Oh my
She did both
word.
today.
Hello from North Dakota.
Look at
I wonder if Chris Turner's watching. She's from North Dakota.
everybody
Oh
is
my
saying
gosh.
welcome. How cute.
Those are fabulous. And then look at this card.
Those are my favorite things.
Oh my
Wow, look how
gosh.
cute
Look
that
at that. I love it. Dear memory bound ladies.
And
Doug.
Doug. I wonder if Doug and Kelly are watching.
my
Probably not, but they'll
gosh.
watch it on the rerun.
Happy crafting ladies. And Doug.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
They're from Fargo.
Where did you get the stamp that says you betcha? Oofta.
Crafts.
Okay, Oofta.
Yeah.
That's our
Oh.
scrapbook store that's closing.
Oh,
Aw.
I'm so sorry. I
They're
hate that.
demolishing them all and making something else.
And they decided to retire instead of move. So
Oh.
Oh,
Well, everybody
I'm
is
so
welcoming you on the
sorry.
video.
That's a big bummer.
And Chris is watching.
Is Chris?
Yep.
Chris, remind me where in North Dakota you're from. I'm Jamestown. Well, I'm not, but
Is it winter yet in Fargo?
it's been in the 90s there.
Oh.
oh,
Yeah.
is it winter? The snow is a blowing up there already. 1st of September,
That's
right?
right. We're hoping December.
Yeah. And then it just goes to like April, right?
Or May or
Yeah.
I know once it's there, it stays.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This is so kind. of
Well,
you.
You're welcome.
have
These
fun
are
shopping.
amazing.
Yeah,
We'll
thank
get
you,
your
thank you.
pictures and all that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
put them on Facebook and whatever else you
Awesome.
need. Yeah,
Awesome.
whatever social media. So.
We both have a list, so we're.
Oh,
Yay! Well,
Have
we
fun
got
shopping.
lists to yeah.
I
So
love your project here too.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
You're watching it in the car till you.
Oh, you
open
are?
it.
Oh, that's funny.
and then
Well,
you come in live.
I was going to say, you can come over and look through whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Well, thank
All
you.
right, Thank you. Okay. yeah,
We
I'll
love
give it a
visitors like
shot.
that.
And you let us
Okay.
Okay,
So, we're still on the book.
still on the book.
know.
So I do think most of this stuff in this book was from
Yeah, that's so funny when you go, oh,
from everything from this year. Some of
Okay.
the people might be from a year or two ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would
Again,
say
everything gets mixed.
yeah, it does. Yeah. I think my whole point with this book was to just play and start putting things together, and sometimes you never know how it's going to come together.
know.
Because I really didn't have any intention of all of these little clusters to be a book, and that's just how it ended up, and I really like it.
But you can always add your own pictures. You
Oh
do
my gosh,
something like this,
absolutely.
you can add pictures.
I will say, see, my thing, I love using my old family pictures.
Yeah, and you'd have great ones.
And I love it. But sometimes for Halloween, other than like this little picture of my, like, I don't have a lot.
Right.
Or I don't want to use them. I don't want to use them in a disrespectful way where I'm really like grunging them up and making them look creepy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to my family pictures, but I don't care about doing that to these. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, they are loving this.
Yeah, I really, really liked this book. I thought that one was really
It
fun
is.
to do.
Perfect.
Um,
Okay, what haven't we? Oh, you're.
oh yeah, we haven't shown that, have we?
And we did
that's a
get
little
more of
display
these globes in.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like that because I think I just got fingerprints on it. I was feeling like maybe it was too fortune teller-ish
Oh, okay.
or whatever.
Yep.
And then
look
I saw
how
a couple makes and I was
cute
like, oh,
that
hold on a
is.
minute.
She
Yeah.
used the woodland trees.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Did the
Now
candy
we
corn
did
flowers.
get that in. Let me grab one from over here. Okay. So it is called the Display Dome, and it's got Halloween picture on one side
Yep.
and Christmas on the other. So don't be fooled if you see it on
I'll for sure be
on the
doing
shelf.
something
It
Christmassy
is
with it too.
it is $12.99. And did
I
you
will
paint?
show. I did. I painted the base.
Okay.
And I wanted to show. I can actually take the lid off so you can see it.
She put the tiny lights.
I put some tiny lights in there, and I actually just notched that out so it fits down in there so that
Perfect.
it sits
You see
better.
how
So you
she
can kind of
did
see the
that.
mechanics of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so dang cute.
And I find sometimes, I don't know if you can tell, the tiny lights are a little bright for me sometimes. So I do put alcohol ink on them.
Interesting.
I just lay them out and I put them on a paper towel and I just sort of like,
use mushroom.
I use mushroom alcohol ink just to tone them down just a little bit because they're a little bright sometimes for me.
You can change the dynamics of anything.
Of anything. Alcohol ink and inks are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They are loving this.
Oh, good.
As Tim
Thank you.
would. So good, knocking it out of the park.
Thank you.
You're as good as any of his makers.
Oh, I don't
You
know
are.
about that.
You
Some of them are really good.
You are. Well, you know, you're not afraid to use your product
No.
and to just play.
And break the rules sometimes.
break the
Don't
rules.
always do it the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of people can't do that.
I cannot remember whose video I watched. I watched a YouTube video and was kind of inspired, and I did the same thing as the book. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but I wanted to show them.
How fun though.
I had so much fun with these.
Yeah.
So I did use one of the Tim Holtz dies. I don't know if it's postal. No, it might have been just this one.
Katie.
So I have all of them, with the coin envelope, this folder,
Oh, the.
the little envelope.
Will you see if this is online and what it's under?
It comes with a square that you can do the little cutout.
This is so interesting. And what? Okay, it's the
so it's this
transparency. The shattered. Oh, sorry, folks. I moved the. It's called the shattered window transparencies.
You get
you
quite a
can
few of them in there. And I alcohol inked them and cut them apart.
And look how fun those are.
So they come in a big sheet. They come in big sheets, and in my brain I kept thinking I had to use the whole sheet. And then I'm like, well, no, silly, just cut apart and use what you need.
Right.
So I cut these little squares out, and then I cut the insides out using the die from, like I said, I think it was the postal or
Okay.
whatever the Tim Holtz dies are.
Under like Tim Holtz ideology is now online. It was not.
Okay. Another question. Sorry, I got to go back.
That's okay.
The pumpkin. Well, these pumpkins are available, but we think that we're out of.
Yeah, that was.
Those are gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Those the jack-o'-lanterns are gone, and they are gone.
Yeah.
We got what we
I'm gonna
could.
buy more too because they're
People
so
love
cute.
them.
Yeah,
they're
and
gone.
we could not get any more. So, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I did the same thing with these. I kind of just started layering and just having fun with them. And I sewed around them.
And these are great to make to put in pockets of any kind of journals.
Yep. And I didn't really finish the backs too much. I mean, that was just me layering different things on them. So I have like a backdrop paper behind, then I've got the person or whatever my focal point was, and then I've got the shattered transparency, and I used alcohol ink to color those.
Just to dab it. Don't do it solid. Just take a.
I have
Dabber.
the felt dauber thing, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I use my fingers a lot.
You and Maggie.
I know, I can't. That's why my nails look so terrible. My hands look bad, but this one I loved the colors, and that's the slate. So it was a little bit lighter, and I really liked that. So you can see how this one is a little bit more grungy, a little dirtier, more brown, and this one is. I really liked the slate, and I used it on a couple different ones. But so I just went through and I made a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah, look
and
how
I made these
fun.
little ones. So I'm not
slide.
sure exactly what I'm going to do with them, but that's the whole point, I guess.
You can put them in your stash.
Yeah. This was another one that I made that I just started. This is how this book started, was by doing things like this.
Just layering.
Yep, just layering. And I kind of just wanted to show on the back.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you can see literally where I just layer.
And the frame, the window frame came out of the same Halloween baseboards.
Yep.
He did a combination of
really
the
liked that.
transparencies, the frames, there's words.
You get a little bit of everything.
Yep. Look, and then the bats. There's a whole bunch of bats. I opened mine up and they went all over everywhere. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, lots of fun stuff in that package.
But I wanted to show too, so like this little piece up here was actually part of this.
Okay.
So I put this over here and I thought, well, I need a little something over here, and this was going to just go to waste, so I just cut it off. So I mean, you can see where I just chopped it off. There's no rhyme or reason, and I just glued it all together. So sometimes a book cover or a page or anything, or even just you could put this on, you know, a bigger piece of backdrops paper and then put it on one of those etc. tags, and
It
then you've
can
got
be
a home
the
decor
the
piece.
front of an album.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yep.
Put your relatives in there, and
Yeah.
your front is done. Okay.
Are we running out of time? Do you want me to do demo?
Oh,
or what
yeah,
are
I
you
want-
thinking? You want to show this one?
Yeah.
So this one, I think I'm going to come back in a couple weeks and show the process
Yes.
of how I cut down the file
Yep.
folders to do this.
This is done with a file folder, and she had showed this before, and we had people
Christmas
that
in
wanted.
July. Yeah, so I did a
how to do
Halloween
this.
one. And then I also wanted to show this same concept. I actually made a little mini book out of the same concept. I just turned it the other way.
So you are coming back in a couple weeks.
I think
I think
so.
2 weeks from maybe today.
I think it is because I think it's a Wednesday.
Elishia will be here again, and she will be demoing those.
Yeah.
How to
And
make
I'm guessing it'll
those.
probably be with Christmas paper.
Yes, I'm sure she will go shopping today
Yes, I will.
after 11 o'clock.
Yes, after 11 o'clock. I will hang around and wait. But this was really fun.
Yeah,
That was
like
really
that.
fun. And it's so easy. It's so easy. And I actually thought about doing,
The hanger. That would be perfect.
I couldn't get it to fit quite
Oh.
right. But then I thought about doing like 2 little eyelets and then like a string or something,
Yeah.
and you could hang it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun too. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then so it made this little book also. I just turned it on its side.
Oops.
I turned it so you can see it's basically the same thing, except I turned it this way.
Yeah.
And made a little book out of the same thing.
Yeah. How cool.
I just had fun playing with all the ephemera and all the different little
You do
trinkets.
such a great job of layering and using your stuff.
Just
Perfect.
always add more.
Yep.
Always add more. You can never add too much, I don't think.
Okay, so Alicia's got a little demo for us,
It's nothing super exciting.
but it will be pretty cool.
Do we need to have Katie come watch so she knows how to use the black texture paste
Katie
the right
had
way?
a few issues
She
yesterday. It
shouldn't
was
watch
so
me
funny.
do anything because I don't do anything the way that you're supposed to. Let me tell you.
But you know, you do what you want to do.
So, I think you're supposed to let the texture paste dry before you do this process, but I did not, and it turned out kind of nice. Now, I'm
we
not going
go.
to say it's going to turn out that way today because you never know what you're going to get.
So she is using the mica sprays from 5 and 6, the collections.
I will be using Specimen, Unraveled, and Fallen Acorn.
Okay.
Those are my favorites. I literally have used an entire one of this one already. I love it.
Okay, Denise, at 11 o'clock, Katie and I will be on doing a video. We will be debuting Tim's Christmas ideology. Came in yesterday, so we will be back at 11 o'clock. We cannot show it till then. And then you will be able to start shopping online, or you can call us for his new Tim Holtz Christmas. Okay, let's see. Did you use any of the Terrell spray on any of your projects? She did not.
What's
that
that?
is the fabric stiffener I have used this, and I will be bringing in some projects for that. It's to make your fabric stiffer. It's to make it like paper, and then you can die cut out of it.
Oh.
Yes, it's pretty cool stuff.
No, and actually, but that's funny because I'm actually the opposite. I wanted it more loosey-goosey and frazzled, so I took my fabric and really pulled it. And, yeah. I didn't on the first couple projects I did, and then I realized why it was bugging me because it was too stiff. But I get it.
Too neat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I really,
this does
pulled and
work too.
stretched. Oh yeah, to die cut. I didn't
If
think
you
about that.
want to die cut it.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I
and
didn't
I have
die
used
cut.
that.
I don't think I die cut any fabric. No, I know I didn't. Yeah, I probably did the opposite. I was pulling and yanking on mine.
Yeah, Bev says you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Famous words from Tim.
The only bad thing is sometimes when you do something really cool and then you try to replicate it, and you're like, I
yeah.
don't know how I did that.
Okay, the window frame is in the baseboards and transparency, Halloween 2023. It has all of those neat frames and doors and words, and it has the cracked transparencies in there too. So, okay, I think we've answered all of the questions.
Are we good?
Okay, we are good.
All right, so we're going to give this a shot here. I'm going to start with the tag, but I also have done this on wood. So on this box right here, I don't know if you can see exactly how that turned out. Wow. I did paint the sides with just black acrylic paint.
Okay.
It might have been Tim Holtz. I don't really know, to be honest.
Just any black.
Any black paint would do. But I did not paint this. So the look that you get with this is just straight on the wood.
Okay.
So obviously, if the wood is different on each one, it's going to look different. You're going to get a different look. It's not going to be super consistent, probably. But so on these tags, and normally I would probably tape this down or something at home, but so this is the black texture paste, opaque.
Which is the new.
It is new.
Yep, for Ranger.
And I love the texture of it. I don't know what it is, why it's different.
It seems creamier
It
than
is
the regular.
wonderful, and it slides on so nice. So I just take a pretty decent size on the back of my palette knife, and then I just hold this and I just go for it.
And I would imagine this is seasonal, so once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not sure if we have tried to reorder this, but we do still have some in stock. So if you're thinking you want this, I would not wait. Good morning, Sue from hot Marco Island. I know it's really hot down there.
And you don't have to do the entire tag or the entire box.
No.
So there's my tag. I mean, that's gorgeous right there, right?
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not the cleanest person. I apologize.
Look how cool. And use any of your stencils because I
Anything.
know
Yeah.
a lot of you have stencils. Okay, do we need to put that in water for you?
I'm going to keep using it, so
Okay.
it should be okay.
Do you need wet ones?
It's all right.
Wet ones?
So that's the tag. We'll let that dry for a
Look
second.
how pretty that is.
Yep. And so then we're going to do the same thing on the little box.
She is using one of the vignette
And
trays.
you can see, I mean, I don't have a
Nope.
ton on there. It goes a long ways. And I'm not real careful about, obviously, I'm not careful about anything. I just maybe get a little bit more on there.
How fun is that? It makes a neat background.
And I even thought I should probably have gotten some of the newer, oh my gosh, the new stencils that came out.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stencils.
And some of them that you don't think of. Like normally you wouldn't think of doing flowers. Thanks, Penny.
You're welcome.
Normally you wouldn't think about doing flowers for
No,
Halloween, but
it's
I don't know,
pretty
I just
cool.
like them.
Look how pretty. It just shows up so nice.
Yeah. So then look at there.
Wow.
So
Shannon, call the store. They should not be out of stock unless people have bought them off. But Penny will check those.
normally I would
That
go
is.
yeah, normally I would go rinse my
Yes.
stencil, but we're good. It's all good.
Well, I wonder if there's a lot. Will you go see how many are around?
I thought there was some up there.
They might be already on orders. Or see if they're available from Notions.
And-
Please.
And I will tell you, I don't typically do the press and seal thing, only because I really use my stuff a lot and I don't have problems with anything drying out.
Okay,
I
'cause
u-
you use
I
it.
use it a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't typically have issues with that.
But make sure you put your stencil and palette knife or wipe them off right away
Yeah.
or wrap them up like Elishia did.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it does look like old-fashioned wallpaper.
I know, isn't
Yes.
it cool? I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay.
pretty cool.
So, I did not bring a splat box.
We have one maybe somewhere, but
I mean, I can be somewhat careful as long as you're okay.
yeah.
Okay.
This is probably good to do it in a splat box, but I don't know where ours is, so.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes at home I don't use a splat box, I just spray stuff, but I probably shouldn't.
No,
So-
we're good.
I do keep these on the side. I shook them up really good earlier, just to make sure. Full disclosure, I clog mine up all the time. I don't know how, I don't know why. I asked Teresa, what do you do to keep them from unclogging? She goes, mine never clog, I just spray them and they're fine.
Okay, we have like 15 in the store, so I don't want to adjust inventory.
Don't.
Because,
Um,
but they can call. 'Cause we
yeah.
have them.
Why don't you, let's see, who was it? Shannon, why don't you just call and we can get you one? They might already be on web orders, so we'll have to see. The flower stencil, we're not quite sure. Penny, do you want to go see if you can find
not-
any kind of floral
It should have
stencil?
the number on it, shouldn't it?
No, they don't.
Oh, they
Okay, I'll
don't?
just look for
Yeah.
floral. Is it new or old?
It's old.
Okay.
Yeah, Beth, we'll see if we can figure out. Alicia did say it was one of the older ones.
There's actually
so.
an,
You use that. No, that's a stamp.
that's a stamp.
Yeah.
And that's actually a Halloween stamp, that other flower thing. But there's, I feel like there's a floral that has like thorns on it that would be really cool for Halloween.
yeah.
And that's actually what I wanted to use, but this is the one I had, so this is why I use this one.
There's so many of them, I can't keep them all
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Janet just linked one of the floral stencils, so we'll see. Shannon, I just cleaned off my husband's workbench in the garage so I can paint and spray without fear. That's a good idea.
Well, I have a room that I don't have to be careful with anything in it, so.
Okay,
Oh,
we
hey.
have lots of choices here.
Oh, that's
I
it
think
right there.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay, it is floral layering stencil, THS077 is what that one is. And then
This is the one I was thinking that would
Oh,
be good.
yes,
Because,
look
see,
at
it's
the
got the thorns
thorns.
in it. I thought that one would be
and
really
this
cool.
one is called Thorned. Yep, and then this is kind of a lacy one, and it's called Lace. And then they come in the smaller ones also. Yeah. So the one she is using is just called Floral Layering Stencil.
Okay, so back to this. So, full disclosure, I clog my mica stains all the time. But, don't fret. I did order some new sprayers, and they're here
and
today.
they are
so I'm
here.
gonna give that a shot and see. I don't know what I do, why I clog them, but I have found that even though sometimes I clog them, I can still use the spray. Like, don't think it's like
Oh,
you can't
no.
use it. I actually took my splat brush. Like, you'll see some of these little splatters and stuff on here. I took my splat brush and I dipped it in here, and then I used it to flick the color on. Oh
Perfect.
my gosh. And then I was like, oh, see, if I wouldn't
Yeah.
have clogged it, I would have not thought to stick that in there. Or sometimes I'll take a little bit and just actually dump it out on my mat and then use it that way also.
Okay,
So,
Darla said, I watched somebody on YouTube that has a separate bottle of water or rubbing alcohol, and when she is done using her spray, each time she removes the nozzle and puts it on the bottle of water rubbing alcohol and sprays it out to clean the nozzle.
so I feel like mine wasn't clogging in the nozzle. It's like the thing down there.
Okay,
Like
the little tube thing.
Uh-huh. That's what I couldn't get cleaned out because trust me, I had it apart. Like, it's not pretty. And
You
I
just
was
kind
really
of do
upset.
what you...
Yeah, so I figured it out, but
Yeah.
okay, so this one is Specimen, favorite. And I'm just gonna go for it and just spray. And I haven't used these yet, so I do that. I do a little bit of water. And then I think I'll just go ahead and spray this over here.
And Specimen is it a black or a charcoal?
So
or...
it is the coolest color ever. I don't know, because I looked at it at first and I was like, I am not digging that. Like, what is that?
Oh, that's the green.
Yep.
Okay.
But look what it looks like when it goes on, you guys.
Yes.
So I want to switch and move these over to, because I'm going to use my heat gun here.
So it really starts out not looking green.
No, not at all. And I will add a little bit of water here and there just to get that color moving around. And then I'll go back in with, like, so now this one's Fallen Acorn. And I'll just spray a little bit of Fallen Acorn. Do a
Which
little
is a
drippy,
brown.
a little bit more of a brown. And we're going to try to keep those clean. Yeah, I'm messy. I'm like way messy.
And just make sure you wipe off your nozzle. That I think is a tip.
I do
another
at least
tip.
try that. And I know he said to make sure that the mic is not settled in the bottom.
Yeah. So make sure you shake it. And this one is called Unraveled.
This one is
or-
unraveled. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a
Kind of more of a goldy
gold.
metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
These are shimmery.
they
They're-
are shimmery.
Yep.
Yep. And then this is when the magic happens, and hopefully my gun works.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
I got
never mind. We got it.
it. It was just a little pluggy.
So it's kind of changing to green.
It's kind of changing. And I will sometimes go in like this at first, and I'll spray a little bit of water while I'm actually doing this
And
to
move
get
it
the
around.
color to move. And don't be afraid to like let some of that color drip off of there.
The unravel would be great at Christmas. Yes. Wow, look at that.
Can you see it change?
Yes. Okay, now I gotta buy that.
You might want to buy a couple.
Wow.
It's really good. But look at how, do you see how the color just goes right around all of the texture paste?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They do not sell them individually, Jan. They sell them only in sets.
Just buy the set, and if you don't like the purple, give it to somebody else. I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, there's maybe a couple colors I don't love, and then I'm like, oh, so what?
Yeah.
And actually, I want to set those on their sides. So I do like this one. It's very pretty.
Gosh.
But I just kind of wanted to show you. So if you go back in, like let's say we just take the lid off, and I'm just going to go back in there, and this is what I do. I just splatter some more of that color. So I'm not
And
even...
just start layering. You layer and then dry and then add more. It is a wowzer. It's pretty
so
cool. It's pretty cool.
And see, I haven't even dried this one on the wood yet, but
Yeah.
isn't it pretty?
It's this
What color was
color.
that?
It's this one.
This one is
Specimen.
well, I did a mixture of
Yeah.
specimen and fallen acorn and some unraveled, and they are my absolute favorites. So
Yeah.
let's try the wood.
See, when she sprayed this on, it was not green. Green. It was more black. It really looked black.
Like a walnut.
Yeah. It was dark.
See how you just add a little bit of water and just move it around. And you don't have to use a heat gun. That's just all I have. I don't have a heat tool, believe it or not. I just use this all the time.
Yeah. Whatever. Wow, that is really cool.
And then we can go back in and dry this one. Dry those little...
It is.
It's so neat, isn't it?
It is
neat?
pretty neat.
I know. I'm not going to lie, when I started spraying these, and I'm like, I'm not loving this. Like, I felt like I was making a mess. And then I dried it, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it's so cool.
Yeah. Look at how
And then you
gorgeous
can
that
go in
is.
and pat,
some of the
yeah.
puddles. Yeah, putting that unraveled on there really.
Look at, isn't it so pretty?
Wow.
Can you really, can
you
everybody
can see it. Yes, it's pretty cool.
I just love it. It was, that was like a big, like, oh wow, I love
I
that.
just want to make a whole bunch of tags. like
Yeah.
that.
So then, I mean, I made a bunch of them, and then I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do with them all? And I don't really know yet. But I went down to my sewing machine, and then I just stitched around them crazy. And I did back all of them with paper, because my thought was maybe to do like a ring book or something, put a ring in them. But
And all you did is use manila. She started
Yep,
with
distress, yep.
the distress, the Ranger manila tags.
Yep, the mixed media tags.
The texture paste is
Look at
dry
that-
now.
Look at that good color back there.
Yeah, that's great color. Yes, you can use a heat gun to dry that.
You know, I think sometimes people have said something about possibly there's some fume or something from trying to dry the texture paste, but I don't notice it, and I'm okay so far. So I don't think it's meant for you to dry it with a heat tool, but it didn't.
However, if you have time,
it didn't melt.
It didn't,
I mean, it didn't melt
move
it.
at all.
No, it doesn't move it. It doesn't melt it. No. No. And then I don't know if you can tell on these, but I left a little white space. I'll go around with ink and ink it a little bit also.
Yep, with probably walnut stain or gathered twigs.
Frayed burlap
or frayed,
has been my go-to lately.
Okay, frayed burlap.
Frayed burlap, yeah.
And they're like glad that you remembered how you did this.
Well,
to get this effect.
I don't know. To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't know how I
It's
remember
pretty
it because
cool.
I don't always. I'm not very good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And sometimes on the wood stuff, you can let it dry a little bit naturally without. It doesn't tend to move around as much, I guess, as it does on paper. But
Yeah, if you don't
it's so
want
pretty, I
like
love it.
puddles like that, you can just spray with water.
You just go in and spray with water and see how you can force it. You can move it. And a lot of times at home, I mean, I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
and, you can
move
make
it
drip.
around.
I mean, any of that, it just makes it better. It just makes it better. I just
That's
love
pretty
it.
cool. Yeah, they love this.
So that's how I did that's how I did this one,
Dan wants it sold in quart sizes.
right? And that's how I did the background on
Okay.
this.
Yep. Well, that specimen is.
Specimen's amazing.
It is.
Yep.
Yep.
Specimen's amazing, and some of that in there too might be a little bit of flickering candle, I think, from one of the older ones. Like
Yeah,
I said, I used a lot.
Okay. So we have all of 6 sets for both Halloween and Christmas. We got the older Christmas in yesterday. And today she used Unraveled, Specimen, and Fallen Acorn. And those 2 are from sets 5 and 6 of the Halloween.
Which are these sets?
Okay. So this one is set 6. This is set 5, and this is set 6.
And I love the mold cider. It's more orange. I thought it would be more red. It's more orange, like pumpkin-y. I love it. It's gorgeous.
Then there's a brown. Well, you used
Yep,
that.
I used that one in this one. I love this. And honestly, I think I used Phantom Mist.
Which is kind of a bluish.
That might be what that is
Yeah.
back in there, actually.
And then there's a purple.
Yeah. And I did give away my purple because I'm not a fan of the purple. But I'm telling you right now, this one just for specimen is worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Definitely.
Yep. And I better go grab some before it sells out because I need some more.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, what a demo this morning. We thank you so much.
Oh, you're so
Everybody
welcome.
was loving this. Your samples are so cool.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And we will be back in about 20 minutes with the new Tim Holtz Christmas Ideology reveal. We will have a second demo. Let's see, I think Tim said there are no more new colors coming from for Micah. He did say that this is it. No more colors. So they are loving this, Elishia. Thank you. And again, she will be back in a couple weeks with another project.
Yep, I'll demo that file folder thing over there.
We will be on to Christmas. Yay.
I can't wait.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we are signing off.